So let's get in there. Let's get in there. We see we have LittleBob versus LaoHuang. In the green, we have the underdog, if you want to call it. I mean, he's definitely lower level than LaoHuang, because in the yellow, we have LaoHuang, none other than himself. The most experienced with 1 billion gazillion experience points, 1 trillion games finished, and as much experience as you can get. So get hyped for the first game of five probably to come. I hope you guys are ready. And Chang, thank you very much for the follow. You join us at the perfect time to get hyped for this match. So LittleBob took the library and then LaoHuang took the engineering genius. Pretty standard there. LittleBob is from Taiwan. Alright, so we know that. We have Taiwan. Oh. We have a political game going on. Taiwan versus China. Let's not concentrate on that. Concentrate on the leaders and wonders. We have Oceanliner Service. We have... Oops, yeah, let's quickly talk about something else. We have Pierre. First game that we cover where Pierre is showing up in his own tournament. That's pretty awesome. What else do we have? Marlene, but no Bach. We have Einstein. Gandhi's here. Definitely played a big role in the last games when he didn't show up. Man Project, Hollywood. No military actions. Not a single military action. Any of these wonders or leaders. That's actually, yeah, pretty insane. So let's see. LittleBob went for an extra mine. Went for Hammurabi. Alright. LaoHuang can grab the Roman roads. Probably progress his next turn if he wants to. So pretty good start for him. I also like LittleBob's start. I mean, library plus Hammurabi are the 2 highest rated wonders and leaders by me. And then LaoHuang gets Roman roads, which is also really high valued, and the engineering genius, and then probably Hippocrates. So we have a strong start, strong wonders, strong leaders, and the engineering genius. Warfare is extra value, yes, and then Theocracy maybe. And Splinter you're supposed to play, not watch. I mean, you can do both. Nothing to say against that, but... Did I just say library better than Roman roads? In my tier list it is. Yes, I think it is. I always have been a big fan of the library. Waiting for Ben. Well, Ben was here, right? So should not be a problem. Let's see. Usually LaoHuang plays pretty fast, but right now he's taking his time. I mean, grab Roman roads, build the mine, increase pop, build 1 stage of the Roman roads with the engineering genius. I think that's yeah, what we're gonna see. Mine, build 1 stage, increase pop. Nostradamus is back, boys. Poll. I don't think the poll... Oh, that's the other thing. Poll doesn't work. We can take a look at the poll after this match. We're gonna see a lot of good things. LittleBob decides... yeah, what does he do? He goes for the philosophy. Yeah, not much else to do really. He can grab an urban growth, but the card is the row is full of things that he doesn't want to grab or can't grab even, and HA cards. So probably wants to build the philosophy, increase pop. Has 3 civil actions left. Theocracy for 3 maybe. No reserves, cultural heritage, urban growth. I mean, probably nothing else to take. But you're not too happy about that, grabbing only these low value yellow cards. But it is how it is. It leaves knights on 2, so like that. Early knights can have a big impact. And from LaoHuang, I expect to see Hippocrates. Well, if he wants to go Hippocrates and elect him right now, he can't finish the Roman roads. So either grab Hippocrates and, yeah, don't. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. Just grab Hippocrates, don't elect him, and finish the Roman roads this turn. Alternative is building a lab, grabbing and electing Hippocrates, and maybe increase pop or something. So we're gonna see what the expert has to say. And there's still the Theocracy. Maybe we're still gonna see that, who knows. Sun Tzu, yeah, of course, could go for Sun Tzu instead of Hippocrates. The follow-up is questionable. And I definitely expect him to go for Hippocrates. Build a lab and elect should be fine. Yeah, I think both are fine. Finish on the Roman roads has the advantage you don't waste food. You get extra resource production this turn. I think both is fine. Okay, properties, builds a lab, yeah. And he doesn't increase pop. Goes for the masonry. Ooh. Masonry does have some synergy with the Roman roads, but with one step already being built, he can only save one selection when finishing that. But it means, of course, he doesn't have any free population, and LittleBob does. So if LittleBob has politics to play, probably will do that and try to trigger the development of warfare or theology, and then get that free, free religion, free warrior that LaoHuang can't take. Next turn finish and take Coubertin Beast. Well, maybe. I mean, there's printing press as well. We could see that. I don't know if LaoHuang is in the printing press meta or not, if he likes that. That's probably going to be interesting to see. I mean, LittleBob also has not built his philosophy, so we could see Coubertin Beast from him. We could see finish the library, grab Coubertin Beast, play him, grab the printing press or something like that. I guess, yeah, LaoHuang can go for very cheap printing presses with Coubertin Beast and the masonry making that cost only one resource. And he has extra population from the Roman roads and from properties at a later point. Coubertin Beast will shine this game. Yeah, but the question is for whom? For whom will he shine? Okay, also looks like most games are underway, just checking, but yeah, looks like everything's good. Let's see, LittleBob doesn't want to go for Coubertin Beast, doesn't want to go for printing press, so we're gonna see if LaoHuang will go for Coubertin Beast or not. Can go for masonry, finish the... Yeah, he has a good turn if he wants to. The question is, you really want 2 yellow cubes from his properties, so he doesn't want to elect Coubertin Beast this turn. Or does he? Maybe he does. Masonry working itself out of the trash tier. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna save one selection and then maybe a lot of resource from the printing press, and then it's also good for some later wonders, like Great Wall is pretty good with that. Ocean Liner is very good with that. And then in the end, of course, mostly spaceflight. So that's gonna be interesting. LittleBob has finished his library, so he starts producing science. Still hasn't built a philosophy. But remember, there is Shakespeare, so it's interesting that he decided to go for knights and skip the printing press. There definitely is a reason to go for printing press, with Shakespeare being there, with not having built an extra philosophy. But maybe LittleBob doesn't think the printing press is as good. Maybe he's not into that thing. Maybe he wants to play aggressive. As first player, you can definitely try to play aggressive with the knights, with the early knights. And as you said, warfare is coming out. Warfare is important this game. Usually in 1 vs 1, maybe, yeah, it's not quite as good because strategy is a lot better. But with there not being any military actions from anything, you can easily justify warfare and then maybe use that to play the deny military action game once again. Aggressive with Hammurabi seems good. Yeah, maybe not. We're gonna see. Maybe go for the warfare. Someone mentioned Barbarossa. Barbarossa can work. Problem is he doesn't really have the right setup with the rest. He doesn't have happy faces. I mean, we always say it, right? Barbarossa needs happy faces and food. And military actions. Happy faces, food, military actions. And he doesn't have really any of that. Okay, let's see. LaoHuang ignores Coubertin Beast. What a sad day for Coubertin Beast. Being completely ignored by everyone. I mean, or is he? Maybe LittleBob thinks now it's a good time for Coubertin Beast. He can grab him and use him to build that philosophy. Later, grab one of the 2 alchemies and use them for that. First, we're gonna see there is the development of religion. LittleBob can use it. And LaoHuang can't. LaoHuang can't take the religion. He decided not to increase population for 2 turns and he gets punished. I want some gardens hanging around in. Gardens, yeah. Gardens fulfill 2 of the things, happy faces and food. Colosseum for those two of those things, Happy Face and Military Actions. So if you can pull it off, get the Hanging Gardens and the Colosseum, and then you have the perfect preparation for Barbarossa, and then you're gonna be very happy with giving, yeah, some nice gardens, a nice Colosseum is all you need with Barb. Being alone here, I noticed that I should maybe take some more time where I'm not constantly talking. I don't think I can talk for 6 hours non-stop, so sorry if I'm... Oh, he does go for Barb. What is this? He does go for Barb with no military actions, with not a lot of cards drawn. Ignores the warfare. Interesting, very interesting. I mean, we have a lot of Barbarossa fans, I know that. We have a lot of Barbarossa fans in the chat probably, and in our community in general. So they should be excited for that. LittleBob showing what Barbarossa can do. Probably next turn build one knight, maybe have the tactic, and maybe follow up with an aggression, who knows. Leaving knights on 2, definitely like that. So LaoHuang has to decide if he takes that or not. We need to play crazy against LaoHuang. I mean, LaoHuang has seen everything. He's played so many games. Yes, there's a lot of variance in TTA, so you can always surprise him, but you kind of have to, right? LaoHuang is someone who has seen most strategies tried out, and he can decide easily what he should do as a counter because he has so much experience. But has he seen something like this? Has he the experience to beat Barbarossa? I mean, he's definitely played against Barbarossa before, that's for certain, but is he as confident in that? Making this kind of a messy game. Let's see how he can respond. Code of Laws, he ignores the knights. Probably means he has some tactic with just the infantry. LittleBob will open development of science. So is he looking for the monarchy? Could also go for St. Pete's. There's a lot of good things here. Monarchy for military actions. Brand Circuses for happy faces. St. Pete's for happy faces, of course. Monarchy on 6, what I mean. Yeah, we see that so often in the tournament, right? So many mean people using the game to their advantage and putting the monarchy on 6. How can they? How can they do something like that? So, LittleBob, does he grab the monarchy or not? He can easily build one knight. But I mean, he only has one card in hand. Are we sure that is a tactic? And if it's a tactic, he has to play it and he only draws one card. Or he doesn't draw any cards. If he plays a knight and plays the tactic, he doesn't draw any cards. Sad of our community. Humanity has come, yeah. Humanity putting cards at 6. How could they? It's just a game. Why do they have to be so mean? 2MA struggle with Barb. Yes, that's what I said. You need happy faces. Yeah, it kind of doesn't have that. Military actions also doesn't have that, and no food. So this is not the perfect Barbarossa setup. So it's gonna be interesting if you can still solve it. And because in my opinion you want these things before you go for Barbarossa, and now he will have to basically try to fix that as he's going. He now needs military actions. He needs happy faces and food, and he can go for food, but then he doesn't get the monarchy. And after this monarchy, there's only 2 cards that give military actions in H2. There's the Conmon and Strategy. And those are the only cards to give him military actions. There's a big earthquake in Taiwan right now, really? But is that... Hopefully that's not distracting LittleBob. Okay, there's something. Barbarossa, of course, very good with colonies. He has played 2 cards already. So yeah, with the cartography, with Barbarossa in general, you can go for colonies very nicely. So LaoHuang, he still needs a leader. He's gotten all the yellow cubes from Hippocrates. He could go for Eleanor, could go for Genghis Khan. I mean, yeah, he skipped the knights, but there is Genghis Khan. So he maybe has the heavy cavalry, builds one more swordsman or warrior, and then he's fine. Potentially. He can go for Code of Laws this turn and the irrigation. I mean, I think I like LaoHuang's position. His game plan is pretty clear. And it's looking pretty good. He can also grab the Great Wall. I mean, Great Wall here with his warriors, with his masonry. Just has to see... Yeah, but I think it's fine. Go for Code of Laws, grab the Great Wall, increase population 2 times and build a warrior. With his Ooga Boogas, yeah. With the Great Wall, you don't need anything else. You just need men with sticks. Men with sticks and a Great Wall is enough. Okay, iron. He wants the iron. He wants more production. Also fine. I mean, LittleBob is not putting any pressure on yet. And now we're also gonna do some bets, I believe. People are excited for the match. Let's get some bets going. This is different from the poll that you do. This is still the bets, so... So start those bets, get your bets in, guys. Oh, LittleBob does go for the Monarchy Revolution and build a knight. I mean, that's a good play, right? Going for the Monarchy Revolution and being able to get out of corruption thanks to Barbarossa. I think, yeah, he got out of corruption. So that's a good move. Still drawing military cards, saving a lot of science. I mean, development of planning is opened. We have agriculture, settlement, and warfare. Settlement could be very good for LittleBob. Get some more population. He's gonna lose 2 yellow cubes, then he has a happy face problem. So if he gets the extra free population, he's fine then. So I think I like that. LaoHuang can take whatever he wants, basically. He doesn't have any problem with population. He has so much food, such a good yellow bank. He doesn't have to worry about that. So, I mean, maybe still the settlement because it's better than agriculture and better than warfare. Or he can't take the warfare. And then maybe he's looking to get the Magic Castle soon. But if he doesn't grab it now, LittleBob might take it away. Okay, there we see Genghis Khan, swordsman. Tactic, oh, he has it. He has it. So he's going up to 7 strength, end of the age. He regains a yellow cube, and with the heavy cavalry and Genghis Khan. The Khan curse, maybe it's finally broken, or maybe LaoHuang is going to be a victim of the Khan curse. We're going to see if a lot of people don't feel confident betting on Khan. We're going to see. As I said, LittleBob does have a little bit of a problem here, but that's easily solved by the development of settlement. Just getting 1 more population, get out of the heavy face problem. Then he could grab a Magic Castle, could go for iron if he wants to. So he has options. Also swordsman can be good. Yeah, he has options. He has a lot of options. Maybe... Yeah, it's hard to tell which one I would prefer. Iron is good, irrigation is good with Barbarossa still. He needs happy faces, but... Yeah, if he wants more population, he needs happy faces. So he needs to be doing something with the population that he's got. So iron and irrigation are perfect for that. Okay, plays the phalanx, getting stronger, grabs the wonder, builds 1 stage. Interesting that he builds the 1 stage. Maybe he wants to finish the Magic Castle before going for iron. And that's gonna mean a pretty late iron. And what do you see here? Early strategy. And I can't repeat myself too often. We are in a very limited military action game because there's not a single one in the Leaders and Wonders. So strategy is even more important than it always is. So I wouldn't be surprised if LaoHuang grabs the strategy, or that's the alternative. He leaves the strategy on 3. Maybe grabs Engineering Genius. Maybe goes for irrigation this turn. You thought they were going culture. Well, if there's not a lot of military actions, I guess you could either say, let's go for culture, or you could say, well, if I get those extra military actions, or if I force my opponent to use them, that's good for me. We're gonna find out. Also get some more bets in, you guys. We only have 2 bets on LaoHuang and 0 on Bob, so I'm gonna be closing the bets very soon. So get in those bets if you still want to earn some culture here. LaoHuang is starting to brew some culture with Genghis Khan if he gets stronger, but he can't get stronger right now. He can increase population 2 times to get out of the corruption. Yeah, then he needs happy faces. Oh, just grab the strategy. Yeah, it's worth 3 civil actions here, I guess. And building 1 more warrior, more people with sticks. Going up to 8 strength to get the 3 culture. LittleBob, on his turn now, can either play reserves and finish the Magic Castle, or he could go for iron. Could also finish the Magic Castle, grab this rich land and this rich land, to then upgrade the iron later and yeah, save those resources. I think that's not a bad idea. Yeah, with LaoHuang now having a strategy, it's good that LittleBob does have the military action from the monarchy. Yeah, the people with sticks running the field thinking they're horses again, being tricked once again by Genghis Khan to think they're horses, and they're really not. But they're gonna find out sooner or later that they are not. LittleBob has not played politics yet, so I would be interested to see why he's not playing something. Probably should have something to play, and these cards should be good for him. Either strength, or probably more important is going to be colonies. And yes, we do see something played by LittleBob. Development of civil life. And you can use that to either develop the iron. Yeah, probably develop iron or irrigation, whichever he wants to go for first. They're proper spearmen, maybe it can even form a phalanx. We're gonna see what they want to form later, yes. Which land? As you said, finish the Magic Castle, grab both rich lands to save resources on the iron. Good move there, I think. And now it's LaoHuang's turn. Nobel for 3, probably not on his agenda, but he needs science. He has irrigation, swordsman, strategy all in hand. He wants to research some of these. Also, what he really would need is a wonder, but the wonders are not showing up yet. Especially Ocean Liner service would be amazing for him with his masonry and with his 12 resources. And yeah, I'm going to be closing the bets, so you guys have like 1 minute left to decide if you want to bet or not. And then I'm going to be closing them. The current bets are 1 for Bob and 5 for LaoHuang, so it looks like he is your guys' favorite to win this at least, in a good position. $537 is a lot, Lambda. It's really a lot. If that's a normal game, that's more than I ever had, I think. I think the biggest TTI Pulse game was me and Weidenbob for something like 350 or 60. In 4 players is different, of course. Then I'm not the expert. Okay, we see summer bets coming in. And now I'm gonna close them. So LaoHuang, as we said, ooh, he does go for Nobel immediately. So these guys don't think they are horses anymore. They get some new weaponry and they become proper swordsmen, going up to 8 strength and getting that science production. As I said, he really wants to research these things. Scientific method as well, very awesome. Can play that next turn, upgrade both of his labs. And then maybe he plans to go for team sports. There is Pierre, after all. There is Pierre where he definitely can use those team sports. Making them extra cheap as well, only 4 resources for LaoHuang. LittleBob will probably take this turn to upgrade his iron as much as possible. Maybe grab reserves. And maybe those cannons. But we have the first politics card coming out. We have 2 H1 cards from green, and 1 H2 card from green, but that's gonna come later, of course. So let's see if it is a colony or strength related card. Carvers are like the Monty Python Knights. Yeah, but they're coconuts. Doing their own horse sounds. Okay, LittleBob doesn't play politics. Why didn't he play politics? What is going on there? Does grab the revolutionary idea for 3 civil actions though. That's quite expensive. I don't know if I agree with that. I think he maybe should have upgraded some more iron. Yeah, I mean, I think you could get it cheaper later. LaoHuang doesn't need science anymore. He has 5 production right now and he's gonna get 4 more production from the scientific methods. So I think as LittleBob you could just wait. There's also, he has science, so he doesn't need it as much, and LaoHuang also doesn't need it as much. So I hope every game is going on. Just looking at the discard of the tournament, that looks like no problems today. Everything seems to be going smooth. Hey Jim, yeah, no Elmerick yet. He's gonna join us later in like 1 to 2 hours, and then he's gonna be joining us. Don't worry. I'm not alone or you are not alone with me after a while. Okay, LaoHuang does go for science, and cavalryman as well as republic. I mean, well, I'm upset that LittleBob is getting culture 5 already. LaoHuang is producing 0. But LaoHuang has good resources, good science, crusades. That makes the difference even bigger. 3 culture for LaoHuang and 34 for LittleBob. So he's gonna need to find a way to score a lot of culture in the end. Maybe go for wars, but then the Republic isn't as good for that. As we've seen yesterday, quite a lot. LaoHuang does have 14 resources stored up. Could go for Louvre and then try to catch up with that. So, LittleBob, are you playing politics this time? Oh yeah, he did. He opened the Crusades. I really wonder why he didn't play anything last turn. Maybe he didn't have anything, but that seems unlikely. Do you have a link for the tournament? I don't, but Pierre does. If you ask him kindly. There it is. Yes, the one thing that LaoHuang is missing is food. And maybe he's still hoping for the ocean liner. He does have irrigation, so he could go for irrigation this turn, upgrade those. Probably grab team sports. I still think team sports would be good for him. He has 9 science production, so team sports, irrigation, he can do all of that. And then later still go for Republic and strategy. Has cavalryman in hand, so if he has a good tactic, he can go for that. Can go for... Yeah, first of all, he can go for the phalanx. If he just goes for 2 cavalrymen, that's already a lot of strength. And then if he has the classic army, that's even better, of course. It is Bob's turn. Yes, you're right. It is Bob's turn, so maybe we should see what he wants to do. He wants to go for irrigation as well, maybe. These guys are both in the possession of an irrigation, but they both haven't researched it yet, so they don't have the best food. LittleBob will go for scientific methods as well, upgrading 1 and going organized religion. So that's his that's his food, his happy face solution. He has committed to 2 religions, so he can go with the organized religion as well. Would have loved to see the rich land being used, but he can do that later. We see the Cornmon coming out, and important, LaoHuang can't go for Republic this turn. That also makes it hard to grab the Cornmon because his hand is pretty full. So I think LittleBob will get the Conmon for next turn even. Has the Revolutionary Idea, so he can go for Conmon, Revolutionary Idea, maybe Irrigation. So it's coming together for him, and still the culture lead. Yes, LaoHuang probably has better production and everything else, but he has to leverage that to make up for the lost culture. LittleBob has accumulated a lot of culture over the course of this game. LaoHuang has to catch up a lot. LittleBob does have monarchy. He does have monarchy, so yeah, that's true. He doesn't need the Conmon immediately. He could just either let that come down to 1, concentrate on getting cannons, organized religions, irrigations, all of that stuff. Justice system. I mean, if LaoHuang doesn't deny justice system, then LittleBob just probably grabs that. Okay, we see, oh, Harvard College. And he ignored the happy faces completely. What is his plan for happy faces? He has a leader already, so he can't go for Shakespeare. He only loses 1 yellow cube at the end of the age. Okay, this territory is going to be big, but I expect LittleBob to win it. He's drawn a lot of cards. He has 2 colonization from the cartography. And that could help him immensely. LaoHuang has a bunch of science. 12 production. That's why I also didn't like the Harvard College as much. I mean, he probably didn't like it as much as well. But he could have gone for statue. He's probably waiting for Ocean Liner. It's gonna be quite interesting. So, what do we see? LaoHuang hasn't bid yet. He's thinking hard about this. And LittleBob will win for 7+. Maybe just a knight. Knight and a couple of cards. No, he has to pay. He has to pay for this one. Yeah, still fine, I guess. But definitely would have been better to just get it for 1 knight or even just 1 warrior. So good job by LaoHuang, making him pay, however he did it. Now LittleBob has to decide if he wants to rebuild military, but this is also a good move to, yeah, transition into a new tactic. Something with cannons maybe, if he wants that. Any science leaders in H3? Yes, Sid Meier, Einstein, those 2. So LaoHuang could just accumulate all of the science, go for Einstein, develop a lot of technologies with him. I mean, we saw it yesterday, right? There was Steve Jobs and Nobel, but Einstein Nobel also works. You get the Nobel Prize each turn, and then with Einstein you get 6 science, so 10 science each turn for all the technologies alone. Okay, LittleBob will go for irrigation, justice system, yeah, all of the good stuff, wave, patriotism. Yeah, he's preparing to defend. Because the longer that LaoHuang doesn't get any culture production, the more clear it becomes that he has to try a war. Or he has to try to go big with the science in the H3, go for big impacts, go for big Einstein. And now we could see Statue of Liberty. Could also see Conmon, so LaoHuang could go for irrigation, grab Conmon, play that, and then statue. If he says, I don't want the Republic. Could also say, I'm gonna try this without military, and then he should play the Republic. Barbarians. Oh, that caused LittleBob 1 population. That probably was played by LaoHuang. Yeah, that probably was his 1 card because he knew he would have less culture. So LittleBob will have to destroy something here. I think especially the statue is very good for LaoHuang here. I think he will be very happy with that. He can finish it this turn. Could go Republic, statue, finish it. And then, I don't know, grab a bunch of other good cards. Maybe also go for irrigation, grab the reserves, that kind of stuff. Besides that, he does have cavalrymen, does have riflemen, but those mostly to deny them from LittleBob, I guess. Okay, does go for public strategy, irrigation, opera. Ignores the wonders. Okay, doesn't want stage. What is his plan for Happy Face? Just spam some operas or something? I mean, maybe it has to be it. Or I guess you can still go for organized religions. Ooh, another territory and another big one. Autonomous territory. We're gonna see if these guys drew some extra colonization cards or not. Pay? Yes, someone has to pay for this one, I expect. I think LittleBob will send both units again, so he's a maximum of 5. And LaoHuang could easily send a lot as well, and then there's those precious colonization cards, of course. 8 for LittleBob. So LittleBob wins it, probably has to send both units. No, he's drawn 2 colonization cards, so he gets the autonomous territory. That's really good for him. He was on monarchy, so now his civil and military actions are fine. Those are fine. Only 1 knight for that is cheap. He now has to be careful and rebuild some army. He's struggling a little bit with resources, but he does have Wave, he does have Patriotism, so those are good. By the way, he's still sitting on the revolutionary idea that I said maybe wasn't as important, and now it definitely seems like it wasn't that important. Spending 3 civil elections to grab that one, has to spend another one to play it, but we're gonna see it's also not a big problem. Yeah, I think so as well. LittleBob does have a good position. LaoHuang is the one who's being forced to do something. Even when he gets 2 operas, he won't be that much ahead in culture production, and then he's still going to be behind in culture gained thus far. Okay, LittleBob will upgrade production. I think I like that. Building 2 knights with the wave. And H3 will start. LaoHuang only loses 1 yellow cube, so that's fine. But his yellow bank... Oh, his Happy Face is especially starting to look a little bit dire. Could go for operas, could go for pro sports. We'll open something first. Popularization of science, 11 to 7. I mean, it's 4 difference, that is big. But is it big enough? There's 6 seats with 20 culture right now. I'm going to be interested in if LaoHuang goes for opera here, maybe 1 or 2 operas, could then try to go with Chaplin and Hollywood. And how will LittleBob respond then? Will he try to go for culture himself? Will he also go for operas? Will he try to go for military? Yeah, sure, 2 happy faces are enough for now, but it's not enough in the long run. Also the question, does LaoHuang grab the ocean liner or not? It could still be good for him, get more population out. It's at the point where it's... Very early ocean liner is always going to be good, but this late it starts to be questionable. But if he could get it this turn, that's maybe the alternative. Don't go for opera, go for ocean liner this turn. Of course, there's a lot of good cards to grab as well. I mean, he could even use the Engineering Genius this turn, because he does have the Harvard College. But these 2 breakthroughs can be very nice. So let's see what LaoHuang will do. I'm just trying to see a little bit behind the scenes, everything is going smooth or not. Hope it is. I have no idea if all the games are underway or not. Not everyone has shared their thing, but I guess most of them have. So just try to rely on everyone having started their game. When they played yesterday, they should know what they're doing. Okay, let's see. LaoHuang will go for the operas. 1, 2, urban growth, breakthrough, and not the engineering genius. Okay. Could have played the engineering genius if he wanted to. But yeah, he goes up to 9 culture production. And now LittleBob will have to respond somehow. Yes, 30 culture lead. But 30 culture lead is not enough to rely on completely. And the civil unrest coming at an unfortunate time. If that came earlier, that would have been very hurtful for LaoHuang. He had 2 unhappy workers. So good for him. And hey, Hunter Loud, thank you very much for your follow. Hope you will enjoy this Coubertin Cup Day 2. You are about to see a lot of great through the ages. You just got vibrated by a massive boom. Ooh. That doesn't sound safe. Something exploded. Damn, let us know what's going on there. So, what will LittleBob do here while we figure that out? There's some good cards coming out. Military Theory can put a lot of pressure on LaoHuang. Air Force very early. I mean, there's also Chaplain. That's Hollywood. Okay, LittleBob will grab both of the Military Theory and Air Forces. Oh, Democracy. That's an early Democracy. Maybe Jim just farted. Oh man. Whew. So yeah, LaoHuang, will he just go for Democracy now? It's very early. It's a lot of culture. He does have a lot of science. Well, if it was the space shuttle, that would be a bad sign for the space flight, you know. So hopefully it wasn't that. There's also military build-up that might be important for LaoHuang. LittleBob is threatening. He's really threatening. That's the good part with the UH Castle. It can be used offensively. If LaoHuang commits to culture production now, as he did, he has to be careful that LittleBob just doesn't build 3 cannons, military theory, maybe a couple of air forces. Good sign from an end project, true. Yeah, don't worry. It's interesting to see that somewhere something exploded. At least you're safe. At least you can still ride. If you would have gone away after that, that would have been scary. So, I think LaoHuang has to grab the military build-up, but first let's see what he opens. Emigration as well. LaoHuang dodged a big bullet there. Sadly we don't see it here, but he had 2 unhappy workers and there were civil unrest and emigration on the deck, and he dodged both of those bullets. So, yeah. Chaplain is good for him. Yes, he could go for Chaplain and then even go for the first Nobel Prize at this turn if he wants to. With something like... Yeah, I guess maybe he can also wait. Grab Chaplain, wait for next turn, and then maybe go for Cavalryman plus Multimedia if he wants it. Can also grab Hollywood. Hollywood should be good for him, especially if he goes for a Chaplain. Endowment. Well, okay, he goes for an extra Opera, Endowment, Urban Growth, and Pro Sport. No Chaplain for him. He grabs the Pro Sports instead. Alright, 30 Science. Grabs a lot of cards. I mean, grabbing a lot of cards is kind of playing with fire. Ending the game quickly means LaoHuang has less time to catch up with his 12 culture production. But he's getting closer. 12 culture production against 5 now, so the lead that LittleBob has in culture is getting smaller and smaller. There's 1 impact in at the moment. 1 impact. Yeah, he is saving up for those Nobel Prizes, definitely. 30 science, that's at least 1. And then, so yeah, in the next 2 turns, he's probably gonna have 2 Nobel Prizes. And then maybe he is saving up for Einstein. Go for Einstein, develop all the technologies that you can, get a lot of culture for that. And then you can say when the Nobel Prize comes online. So LittleBob, if he had the Nobel Prize available, he could easily go for a lot of science as well. But he doesn't know when that will be available. So he could also just save up, or he will do something else. Talking about something else, he could go for democracy, because he has 17 science. Democracy is very good still, but he has to decide if that's where he wants to take this game. Does he want to take and keep up with the culture? Maybe democracy, maybe United Nations if he has a good impact, and try to get wonders and keep up in culture production? Or does he say, I have a war, if he has one, I have a tactic, if he has one, build those units, go for military theory and air forces, maybe use the freedom of movement that he got here. Could use the freedom of movement for putting the knights into cannons, then maybe build another cannon, show his mobile artillery, if he has that. Go for 2 more air forces and be looking very scary. But it's quite hard to fight against LaoHuang, because he does have patriotism in hand. He has riflemen and cavalrymen as well. Then the pro sports, and of course, don't forget about Harvard College. He still has the revolutionary idea, yes! Imagine what he could have done with those 3 civil actions a couple of turns ago. I mean, who knows? Maybe this 4 science will come in very handy at some point. Could allow him to either get the Nobel Prize or something. Okay, engineering and multimedia, can go for one of those. Revolutionary idea does. Ooh, he gives LaoHuang his military buildup. Does give him the military buildup. So I think there's not going to be a war. If LaoHuang gets the military buildup, gets air forces, LittleBob can't win a war really. National pride definitely helps, keeping up the culture elite that LittleBob has. And now it's LaoHuang's turn to do something. There's Einstein. Could go grab Einstein, play him, maybe go for democracy and pro sports in 1 turn. That's a lot of culture gained. Could even go for Manhattan Project. Or of course the space flight is going to be pretty big as well. So wonders could be very deciding here. Check out your game, Hannes. We will. When we finish with this one, we're going to see. You are always a big savage. We know that. We know that from the beginning. Also hello there, yes. Hope you have a lot of fun playing that game. Is it over? Is the game over? Oh, General Kenobi. Damn, missed it. Yeah, LittleBob decides to give the military buildups to LaoHuang. That says basically, okay, we're not gonna have a war. LaoHuang can't go for war with 4 military actions and with his military setup. So LittleBob can always defend, I would say. But there's always a little bit of a danger. LaoHuang has patriotism, but if he declares a war, it's gonna be, yeah, still gonna be too hard, I guess. So, civil action wise, what can LaoHuang do? His hand is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has 8 civil actions, so he can grab Albert Einstein, elect him, doesn't get a civil action back, so 4 civil actions. Can grab democracy, play that, play pro sports. Yeah, we're gonna see that. Democracy, go for another one. Yeah, goes for pro sports and another opera. 18 culture production, getting all the culture from the Nobel Prize and Einstein. And it's close. It's close again. 74 for LaoHuang and only small lead for LittleBob. Economic progress coming out. So 85. And he has a lot more production. LaoHuang looking strong once again. I think he's looking strong once again. He was allowed to go for 4 operas. LittleBob in that time built 1 multimedia. But besides that, he was lagging behind in getting his production up. So he waited with that. Upgraded his iron and irrigation pretty late, and in that time LaoHuang could use his resources to go for the extra operas. So well played LaoHuang, but it's not over. It's not over. We still have a lot of fun things to come. And this revolutionary idea, and the other one of course, might come in very handy. Because, of course, there's the Nobel Prize not only for LaoHuang, but also for LittleBob. And LaoHuang did not grab the military buildup. He is, I mean, yeah, 17 resources, so maybe it's fine. But if LittleBob grabs Man Project, Engineering Genius here, and has a tactic, can then go for military theory next turn plus air forces and finish the Man Project. War was on the table for a minute there. Now the table is clean again. There's not going to be a war after going for the movies here. Oh, and there's the space flight coming out. I wouldn't be surprised to see LaoHuang just grab that. That should be pretty big for him. And then he has a lot of other good things to come. Can go for satellites. Can go for some other technology, get another Nobel Prize. International agreement that can help LittleBob, but he really needs some impacts. We have 3 impacts in, 2 from LaoHuang, only 1 from LittleBob. Revolutionary idea for the win. I mean, yeah, he needed all the signs for the last turn. So maybe it was worth the 3 civil actions after all, you never know. I mean, in the end it can be the difference between 4 culture or not. Can't curse refuted? Not yet. Not yet. There's still a lot of game to be played here. But definitely LaoHuang has stabilized nicely. He wasn't punished for going for 4 operas. And he wasn't punished for only having swordsman, no tactic, and now even is allowed to destroy his military. Just checking if we have any other results yet. But I think no. That would be pretty fast. That would be pretty fast. I mean, these guys are producing so much culture each turn because of Nobel Prize and now also their culture production. But still, LaoHuang with 18 culture production from democracy. I still wonder, should LittleBob have grabbed the democracy when he could? That is a lot of difference when you have a very high culture gain. LaoHuang couldn't then go for the extra opera, so that 6 of the production comes from democracy in a way. So yeah, we'll see. So does LaoHuang grab the spaceflight for 5? Increase population 2 times. Something else? Does he want to go for another Nobel Prize this turn? Can go for 1 next turn and maybe 1 after that. Maybe that's enough. It's going to be hard to go for more than 2 Nobel Prizes. Hey Cuta, welcome. You just arrived for the exciting endgame of the first match of many to come. And LaoHuang does go for main project. He wants to threaten military all of a sudden. How the tables have turned, or have they? Can't LittleBob respond? He still doesn't have a leader. He could easily just go for Gandhi. Go for Gandhi and then... And the other question is, was it an aggressive Manhattan by LaoHuang or defensive one? And can LittleBob now go for spaceflight and Gandhi and that is enough? A lot of questions. We're going to see the answer very soon. I'll go to the toilet really quickly and then we're going to see the rest of this game. let's see. LittleBob has not played yet, but did he play politics? I guess we can't see, but we can take a look here. I don't think he has. Oh, he... I forgot about that. He had the international agreement, so he used that to grab the space flight. Grab the space flight and reserves 1. Reserves 3 for 1. Hey Splinter, is your game finished? Are you finished? Oh, I have to start it. Yeah, I forgot to start the tournament on challenge, but no worries, it started now. So let's see. Final time for Splinter. Damn. So, LittleBob. Yeah, does he have to be afraid? Or does he just grab Gandhi? I think just grabbing Gandhi is a good move here. You're guaranteed to be able to finish the space flight, deny LaoHuang any war. Yeah. So... looks like you guys had a nice game, Ben and Splinter. And looks like Splinter won if we see that correctly. But let's concentrate on this match that we have in front of us, and then we can see what is going on in the other matches. And we have some other results as well. He aggressed you 4 times successful in 1 war and lost everything. Damn. So many good games. Maybe some of them can be rewatched at a later point by some people. So LittleBob, he's taking his time for this turn, but I think he has a lot of things to consider. He needs to finish the space flight in 2 turns. He probably wants 1 more Nobel Prize. So don't develop anything this turn. Or does he plan to develop 4 more technologies and get 2 of those Nobel Prizes? And then there's the question, how big is the space flight gonna be? It's looking pretty big right now, and especially if it gets more good technologies, they're worth a lot. Can grab satellites for a cheap 1, mechanized agriculture for a cheap 1, has a lot of extra civil actions thanks to Newton. Yeah, Splinter, why do you keep winning? Why do you keep winning? We want you here on stream and commentating. And yes, Fruxa, LaoHuang is the level 30 guy. He's the highest by a lot. He has like double the experience of anyone else. He's played more games than every other people on Earth combined. Probably. So, LittleBob. Can he? I mean, I think we agree that LaoHuang has a dominating position with all those Nobel Prizes and Einstein. LaoHuang even still has the endowment for 6 extra culture once LittleBob has finished his spaceflight. But we see LittleBob go for military. No, go for... okay, gets the Nobel Prize, starts... but the question for me is, was it needed? He's gonna lose Newton anyways. Maybe he needed the science to go for 1 more Nobel Prize. No, he can't go for 1 more Nobel Prize. So why not go for Gandhi, get 2 extra culture production, and make sure that you don't get a war on yourself, because LaoHuang can declare war, has patriotism. I mean, yes, it's still gonna be hard for him to pull anything off, but with the fundamentalism, there is a way. No, Splinter, there's no downtime. There's downtime when you have finished your game and your opponent is not yet ready. Then you can have some lunch. But we want to get this game going as fast as possible. You can take like 5 or 10 minutes between matches, but not a long time, unless your opponent is not showing up yet, of course. Of course, he maybe wants Marlene. Marlene could be good for some impacts. The extra science, as I said, probably not important. He got 3 extra science from Newton, but he still would have had enough for satellites. I mean, maybe Gandhi's unneeded anyway, and LaoHuang can just, yeah, isn't gonna go for war anyway. Or LittleBob could respawn, but how could he respawn? Just one Air Force is a lot, maybe enough. He does have Magic Castle. He probably doesn't have to be afraid. But the culture is just in LaoHuang's favor now. I mean, LittleBob has 120 right now, but LaoHuang has 116 plus 18 plus 10 from Einstein plus Nobel Prizes. If of wonders is 9 to 10, that doesn't change a lot, but it makes it super close, 129 to 129. But LaoHuang has 1 more turn, but for that LittleBob has the space flight, so it might get close. LaoHuang doesn't get another wonder, but he has 2 impacts, and LittleBob only has 1. So I think it's gonna be a close finish. It's gonna be a close finish, but I think LaoHuang has a good position. Iconoclasm on top, that would be next level. That would be absolutely next level by LittleBob. If this here is Iconoclasm, he kills the Einstein and doesn't lose his leader. He can't use Endowment now, exactly, but after the next turn from LittleBob should have more culture than LaoHuang, and then he can use it, because LittleBob has to finish the spaceflight next turn, and that should give him the boost to overtake LaoHuang, and then LaoHuang has his last turn with the Endowment and his production to overtake him once again. Yellow wins on impacts. Yeah, I mean, before impacts, it's going to be close. It's going to be close before impacts. I think LaoHuang might have a small lead. Yeah, maybe even a big lead before the impacts. And then, I mean, LittleBob has some good impacts, but LaoHuang is not shabby at all. Has some good technologies and everything. I mean, can't be a lot closer than same culture. And we have some more games being complete. We have some big upsets, in my opinion. We're gonna see once you take a look at those results. Of course, you can check them out for yourself as well. I think green is gonna have it. I think LaoHuang just has too much production with 30 science. I mean, it's gonna be hard to go for 2 more Nobel Prizes, so you can probably go for 3 technologies only. I mean, it's gonna be hard getting those 3 technologies. So yeah, would need to be these 3. We're gonna see. We are gonna see. Maybe if there's spaceflight, if there's Iconoclasm, then the spaceflight might be enough. But we just have to be a little bit patient. We can't say right now. And there it is. Technology 1 and 2. Modern infantry, urban growth, reserves. All the good stuff. So he is at 157. I mean, that's a big lead after this turn. LittleBob doesn't get another Nobel Prize. LaoHuang also doesn't, but he gets 1 more technology. So let's see. Does LittleBob have an impact? Does he trigger this, whatever it is? And is it Iconoclasm? I mean, what impacts could be there? What impacts could it be? LaoHuang has a lot of production, so it could definitely be agriculture, could be industry. He does have a lot of food saved up. He could theoretically have harmony, then increase population a lot of times and build some of those. And we see it's inhabited territory. Okay. Yes, you can start round 2. If you want to, you can start round 2 immediately. Write the code into the Discord, so maybe check that game out, but you can definitely start immediately once you're ready. So, LittleBob wins this. LaoHuang doesn't want it. I mean, impacts, there's some who's good for Bob, some who's good for LaoHuang. LittleBob is also gonna get space satellites. Satellites is good for a lot of impacts, so you could have progress, all of that stuff. And then LaoHuang, as you said, production could sneak in something like Harmony, but then wouldn't he have bid anything for the colony? And then we're gonna see how big the space flight becomes. Plus satellites, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H3 technology. That alone is 18 culture. 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 26, 28, 20, 30, 31. 31 culture from the spaceflight is a lot. Is it going to be enough? And is it going to be 31? Or did I do the math wrong? Let's see. It does go for Malena, okay. And then goes for the spaceflight for 30. Okay, missed one somewhere. And then for his last move, he builds some knights to be stronger. And maybe for Harmony. You figured out what the blast was. Oh, the big mystery reveal. Turns out they were demolishing a power plant stack in another community about 35 miles away. And you heard that. And oh, that must have been a big blast for those people near that. Thanks for lifting that mystery for us. Why do they do that? Why do they do that on a Sunday? Is that allowed where you live? Shouldn't be the Sunday, like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how we on this Sunday conclude this game here. We have from LittleBob 179, and as I said, that means endowment is enabled for LaoHuang. LaoHuang can't get another Nobel Prize, but he gets 3 culture for the modern infantry. And then 18 production. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close. We have 2 impacts for each of these. LaoHuang might play another one if he has it. But it's gonna be very, very, very close. Before the impacts, at least. Can pick and play efficient upgrade. True, true. Maybe use that. I mean, if he's input of agriculture, he can upgrade all of those. Has reserves, has patriotisms. LittleBob, his agriculture is fine as well. Balance is good for LaoHuang too. Can make that even better with the food upgrades. So balance and agriculture could be in. Even though strength could be very sneaky, yeah. But I mean, LaoHuang can just, oh no, 1 upgrade to rifleman is not enough. Because he doesn't even have fighting band or anything. So 1 extra strength won't be enough. But, oh, modern infantry. He will research modern infantry and then maybe upgrade the rifleman to the modern infantry with a patriotism. So that's relatively likely, so I don't think strength is gonna be in. Can also build just the pro sports with the urban growth. That's true, and that's already enough strength. It's the US. Weird is that kind of speciality. Yeah, true. I mean, on the one hand, you would think that because it's a religious country, kind of, so the Sunday is even more holy than for others. But on the other hand, you have the freedom, so you can do whatever you want on a Sunday. Hard to tell. Case, here we see it. LaoHuang will go for modern infantry, has the complete set of infantry, will go for 1 pro sports, more population, and we see Harmony, probably see Harmony, or, oh, yeah, we see Harmony. We see Harmony and maybe competition. Yeah, it was super close before the impacts. The first one is very good for LaoHuang. Strength is 10 to 0. Technology 20 to 24. LittleBob has more from the technology than Einstein. That's crazy. Then we have industry 8 to 6 and only 1 left. I don't think this will be enough. Colonies. Whoa. Whew. 4 culture there in the end. The endowment did it. Without the endowment, LittleBob would have won. So that 4 culture that he got from that 4 culture there in the end was enough. I don't know where it is, but that was enough and super important to give him that. What a game. What a game. And the civil unrest. Civil unrest, Would have been huge if that came out earlier. Crazy game once again. What a start to the Coubertin Cup final day. What a start. Already an awesome match. Well played by both of them. And congratulations to LaoHuang. Really gave us a good game. Showed us a lot of strength, a lot of technologies, and all of that. Well done, well done. Let's take a quick look at the standings of the Coubertin Cup right now. We can see that Enderwigan has won. Daniel and Hamilstosh are not finished yet. Splinter has won, as he told us, and now he's going to face up against LaoHuang. That's going to be a crazy game. And almost everything game is going on as well. We have Hannes and Busy Beaver fighting it out. We have ASD versus LPPL. Because of the... Oh, LPPL winning against Ducky. And ASD. ASD is still looking so strong. We have, yeah, Splinter. And then we are waiting for Himmelstosh or Daniel. So let's see what the next game will be. What game do you think? Guys, what game do you want to see? First of all, let me resolve the bets. Let me resolve those bets.